Today's message, witches, you gotta keep their names out of your mouth. Okay? Everything's gonna make sense. You just need to listen to the end of the video. This is about the current hexing campaign against those that shall not be named. And essentially, the reason why these type of videos are so popular is because it appeals to your base level, to your base emotions. So your fear, your anger, your activity, you are basically reacting from your shadow self. That's your shadow self and your unresolved shadow work that is responding to this energy. So if me bringing up your shadow self, or you have some kind of reaction to that, whether you're angry or you want to jump away and scroll, you might want to tell your shadow self to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, because this is a really important message. This message could probably make or break your entire practice, your future as a witch. This stuff is stuff that you really need to look at if you're serious about being a witch and doing witchcraft, okay? So during the ban, I got a message that stated, don't look at what you don't want. Take your eyes off that stuff. Don't be looking at what you don't want. And if you check my video from January 22nd, you can just go hop over there and look at that video, and you will see that message coming up. Don't be looking at what you don't want. Don't be paying attention. Don't give attention to what you don't want. Because basically what we're doing right now is we're consuming energy that's not even supposed to be here. Essentially, it's like alien energy. It's unnatural energy. And I'm going to tell you something else about consuming this energy. It's junk food energy. It's highly addictive. It has empty calories. You eat it and you never feel full or satisfied. And you feel weak and malnourished after you have partaken in this energy. Okay? And see, here's the problem. When you continue to consume this energy, what happens is you're making them grow. Those that shall not be named, you increase their popularity, no matter what kind of energy you throw at them. So hold on. So when I got this message, don't look at what you don't want, I'm like full chest out. I am not going to participate in this reality. This is not what I want. I'm looking at what I want. I'm looking at prosperity and joy and happiness and building a community and creating a world that I want to live in. Okay? That's what I'm focusing on. I'm also telling my social media that I don't want to look at this content, saying I'm not interested in this channel. I'm not interested in this content, swiping, blocking, doing whatever I need to do to not be participating in this content. And when the whole world talk, Commonwealth talk, Canadian resurgence of TikTok accounts, I'm like all on board. And this I felt was like a confirmation of what I felt the message was, like to not look at that. And here's something else to look at. Focus on whatever you focus on is going to grow. Okay. What you think about, you'll bring about. This is basic manifestation, but I think some of us have forgotten this, or we don't realize how true manifestation works. And I need to do a series on how to truly manifest, which is coming. You're going to start that tomorrow. Okay. So that's coming, but pay attention. There's still more to it. But essentially we are to starve that those that shall not be named, those toddlers need to be ignored until they shrink back, because they're completely out of control. It's like when you're a parent and if your child misbehaves, you don't reward the bad behavior with lots of attention. Even if it's negative attention, they still will get that behavior reinforced because they're getting attention. If you give them attention when they're doing what you want them to do, then you reinforce positive behavior. So we, with our negative attention, are actually reinforcing the negative behavior. I know it sounds weird, but this is actually a thing. So I'm getting this message like, don't look at them like a Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't look back. Don't look over your shoulder type of don't look at them. And I'm cruising on my FYP, and then I come across this.
When you send a hex to Trump, and it doesn't even matter if it's a hex, it could be also a protection spell. It doesn't matter, because the thing is that it's not going directly to Trump, it's going to his egregore. Any celebrity, any big idea, any big organization.
Does Trump have an egregore? Yes. Okay.
So an egregore, a spirit that's created, like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, amongst other things. But it's a spirit that's created based on a core set of beliefs by a shared group of people, okay? That's important. So please go check out that video. But this is the thing, it's interesting and it's relevant, and this is how. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit blown away by this. We have a lot of powerful witches out here doing protection spells, doing hexing spells, and they are not getting the results that they want. And the egregore explains that. That makes it all make sense, okay? Because if they have that spirit that's taking on the negativity, and I always say there's no such thing as negative publicity, and they're taking that energy and transmuting it into money for themselves, because we're not the only ones that do that. We're not the only ones that have this information, okay? So we need to act accordingly. There's an expression that says, don't throw good money after bad. And money is a placeholder name for energy. So don't throw more energy into what's not working. When it's not working, you stand back, you examine, you figure it out. You stop what you're doing. But this is the thing. We really need to know and understand spiritual laws before we start casting spells willy-nilly. What I see out here is a lot of spells, a lot of this is how you do this spell, this is how you do that spell, and zero information of by the power of 3, it comes back to you. Zero explanation about karma, zero explanation about reaping what you sow. That means if you plant it, you're going to harvest it, and it's going to grow and multiply. So we've got spellcasters just casting spells and not having the basic understanding of not only spiritual law, but shadow work, examining yourself, examining your motivations. Because we have witches out here doing spells, reactive spells, reacting from their baseline, from their base chakra. There's no understanding. There's no wisdom. There's no reevaluation. It's just, screw you, I'm casting a spell. That is not how witchcraft works, and that is not how it's supposed to work. You're taking patriarchy and inserting it into an ancient female practice. And yes, there are male witches, but this practice is based on the feminine. And see, this is the problem with doing reactive spell work. That shit will blow up in your face. It's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. Essentially, you need to learn the basic principles of the craft, and there are no shortcuts. You need to do your shadow work. And yes, your shadow is not going to like the idea, but doing shadow work doesn't eliminate your shadow. Doing shadow work makes you understand who you are and why you react the way you do, and it gives you more control over what you're doing, okay? It gives you more power. And yes, I know there's witches that have millions of followers, but guess what? That doesn't make you a good witch or good at the craft. It makes you good at marketing. And that's what you're following. You cannot get to there by following that path. You can't get to true spirituality, witchcraft, honing the craft, understanding yourselves by following the thing that's just the most popular thing that you see right now. That's not how it works. In fact, that's kind of how we got here in the first place. And what have those witches done to ensure that you're not hurting yourselves with something that you don't understand, that you don't know how to use properly? What I want is for you to take more control over what you're doing and what you're observing and what you're taking in, and choose wisely. Because garbage in, garbage out. You need to remember these things. Matching outfits and a million views and some funky, cool videos is not what's going to give you wisdom, witches. Follow the creators that are here to teach you if you're serious about the craft.